Okay, earlier there a separate testing team will be there. Nowadays, so they are going to be tester. You have to develop and you have to test it by yourself only. Okay, so there are different types of test is there. So one level of application testing is done by you only. Okay, so this is the one Cypress. Again, it is a JavaScript. So you need to install this Cypress package and you can run it. Okay, so now I want to go with the uh, testing library. So I don't want to write a whole program, but just I want to write the program, existing program, and I will write the test cases. Okay, let's say this is a login form. I want to create it. So first I will create a login form component. So here I will take a login form dot JSX. So then I want to copy this code. Where is this? Yeah, this is the login form. Control C and Control V. Save it. If you just login, see it is there in the component and login folder. So automatically it is imported here, the line number 9. This login form is imported. Just I will run it. Control S, Control C. So I will run this project. So npm start. That close all the things. Package.json, my component, index.html. Okay, so this is the normal React component. So being as a developer, okay, sir, everything I have written is no. Or no, you have to write a testing. Why? Because some users they are directly hitting to the API without entering a username or without entering a password or so functionality testing will come and integration testing will come. So there are manual testing will come. So just I will add some username and password, and once I click means it is a username is this one, password is this one. Okay, so just I need to write a test case for this one. If I want to do this what is Cypress testing, so you need to install the packages. So here you will get a npm install Cypress. So I will just go here. I will take a one more tab, cls npm install Cypress. Okay, this is a testing library. It is going to be written along with the JavaScript files. Okay, so now I want to write a okay, single login form is there. I want to write a Cypress test case for this one. Okay, so here for this we are going to be write a Cypress test cases, create a test file with login form. Okay, so create a test file for the login form component. So here the Cypress integration login form dot spec.js. So we have to create like this. Okay, so here describe. So you no need to worry, because if you want to go deeper way, so you have to go for the official document. So just I will tell the how the Cypress testing is used to test the application. So this is a like you have a Cypress tutorial. So if you want, you can go into why Cypress and how to use it and getting started, what are and all need to be installed. So everything it will be discussed here in the Cypress. Okay. So just I want to create a login form specs control S and we'll go here control V and we'll go to the so just I will go to the this code. Okay, so JS describe login form. Okay, so this is the test file. So for testing also you should have a knowledge. You cannot write a simply test. Okay, the first is the this is the describe login form. So what is a login form? Login form is this is the form and before for each CY means Cypress object dot widget is it is running with the localhost is 3000. So because anyhow our port is running this one localhost 3000 only. So this separate test will be clear. Then it should enter the login form. This is a string and here it is a cy.get form. It should be a form should exist. Yes, the form should be there. So here it is a the form is there. The next same thing input type equals to text so should be exist. Yes, it is there. Input type equals to password should be there. Yes. Uh, cy.get button type equals to submit should exist. So this is how it will create cy.get like this. Then it should update the fields. cy.get input type equals to text. So type equals to test user and should have a value test user. For this, he is telling that for input should be one test user he will pass a one variable that is a test user and should have value. So this is for the input type text. Then password equals to input type password should be password 123 should have value password 123. So in the both it is username password values. So this is the field this is with respect to field and with respect to the value and should show the alert with the values of the form submit. cy.get input type equals to text type of test user. So this is going to be show in the alert and cy.on window.alert. So when the expect to contain the username test user password. So if this matches, so then it will be a test cases is success. Okay, still it is not loading. Okay, so this is the testing you are going to be write it, but if you want to go for the deeply, so you just go for the Cypress testing. So installing a Cypress and then opening a app npx express open. Okay, so we need to mention this cy.open Cypress open. So it will opens and end-to-end testing, installing E2E, your first app like that. So this is how you are going to be test. See, whenever the incognito mode, how to authenticate, Auth0 integration, Azure Active Directories, Google authentication. So these are all the different authentication, component testing. So this is all different types of testings are there. So just the application testing you should do by using installing a Express package. So still it is not installing, having a problem with the package. Okay, so hope you understand like how to write a test cases. If you want to go deeper way, it need a lot of learnings in the testing. why we need to describe what is a before each, before of be for each. So like that. So what is the visit? So these are all the methods of the Cypress object. Okay. So this is in some companies they are telling that almost all 90% companies you need to write a form and you need to write a test cases. Okay. So for this testing related, we will take a separate sessions will be there, or else you can just go through by yourself. Okay, so now what I want to do, I am going with the next major topics are called the use status, React.js hooks. Okay, so this is a very important. So there are two types of component we have discussed. One is a class component, and one more is a functional component. So this is in the last session we have discussed. Okay, so class component it starts with the class. Functional component it is going to start with the functional. So both the components we have studied here. So what is the difference in the sense? So in the class component it is a very lengthy, and then you need to maintain a life cycle methods here. But here the code will be very lengthy. Sorry, short, and you can maintain a state with a one line. So that is called a use state and use effect. Okay, so how it will be? So React.js hooks is introduced in the React 16.8. Okay, now the React 19 is there. For the 16.8, they have introduced the React.js hooks to manage a state. So we have a n number of hooks here. See, use state is for the manager state in the functional component. Use effect means perform the side effects in the functional component. Use context, access the context in a functional component. Use reducer, manages the complex state logic into a functional component. Use memo, memorize expensive computations to the optimize the performance. Use callback, memorize the callback functions to the prevent unnecessary regender. So these are all the differences that at least we can go through up to use callback. Okay, we are not going for all because most frequently used these use states. Okay, so now I want to go with the use state hook. What is the use state hook? The use state hook is a hook. It is going to be manage a state, and what and all it is going to be stored. We know about okay, use state. Okay, what and all it is going to be stored. So that is I'm going to be explained with an example. Example com. So this is a little bit complex program is there. JSX. Okay. So now what happens? So I want to. Oh, still it is loading. Okay, let's be. React functional component export. So just click here. So automatically it will give the component, and just I want to show in the main component less than. I will just type the example component. It is telling that it is in the com folder. If I click this, automatically it is imported at the top. Save it. Control S. Okay, so let it be. Control C. This one I will close for a while. I will install later. CLS npm start. So this is a normal component. So I want to explain about the use state. So what and all it will. So yeah, what and all use state can take. So this is the example component is it. Fine. So now what and all use state can store. So that is important. Just listen properly. How you are going to be define use state. So here constant, bracket, state, set, state equals to use state, bracket. See, automatically it is imported here. When I use hit enter, so there automatically it is imported, or else you have to import it manually. So as I told, use state is used to maintain the what you can say state. State means what? It's the information or data. Then what are all the type of data it is going to be stored? It will stores an array. Okay, and it will store an object, and it will stores an boolean, and it will stores numbers. Okay, so array it can store, boolean it can store, and this one like you can directly pass the numbers. It will take integer numbers as well. So I want to demonstrate one by one here. Okay, so first what I want to do, I want to show the arrays. So how to do? I want to create a one constant variable. Constant initial value. Okay, or sorry, initial state only I will. Initial state equals to bracket. Okay, so here first I will take a items colon bracket. So I will add a item 1, item 2, item 3. Okay, so this is the array. This is the initial state. So I will just show here. I will add a initial state. Sorry, I will just copy and control V. Now the initial state, this what the state it contains. So the state it contains the array item. Okay, so now I want to show, right? So how to show? If I just go to here, I will just how to show. Just I will use a one pre tag. What is a pre tag? Anyone? Anyone can tell a pre tag? Hello. Yeah. Okay. If you just if you are in a like the crowd, you just this one. What you can say? Just message. Control S. Okay. Each item should having a key, so that's why I will just do CLZ. CLZ. and state. Control S. If I just go to the browser, Control Shift I, console, object, see here. So item 1, item 2, item 3 is there. Okay, so I want to store a sum of the, so this is the array itself. So I want to store the Boolean value as well. How to store? I will just remove for a while. Is loading. I will take the is loading is a Boolean value. The initially I will take a false and okay. So we have taken a is loading is false. Then just a minute. And I will select an items. See what I am explaining. I am going to be explaining the use state hook and what and all or what are all the types it is going to be stored. So that is I am demonstrating here. Items, item 1, item 2, item 3 is there. Then is loading is false. Then it is a storing a Boolean value as well. The next is what a selected item colon bracket. So array is there. Okay. The next show item colon true. So if you see here, your initial state is containing a array boolean value and again array and boolean value. So how we are going to be use this one? Okay, first I will take some buttons. What is a button? So add item and is loading and hide and show items. So I will take first three buttons. Okay, so how to do? So just I will take a one button. Okay, so that button is containing a add items. So here I will take a on click is an event. So for the on click event, add item. Control C. If you just go here in the browser, add item. So you are going to see here add item. So why it is throwing an error? So I need to define the function for constant constant. So add item, open close brace. Okay, so in the add item, so it is going to be add a new item for every click. How it is? Yes, in the set state, I will call the set state method. Inside a set state method, I will use a one more method. Okay, so for that method, what we are going to be passed? We are going to be passed the a value. So for this items only, I need to pass the value. So I will take one example, one temporary variable, previous state. Okay. So this is the a previous state. Then I will one more thing. This is the bracket. floor bracket. So previous state is a one temporary variable. Okay. Then again, I will use a spread operator previous state, comma. What is the array? So this is the items is the array. So items colon square bracket dot dot dot. So previous state dot items. Okay. So previous state dot items. So then we'll separate by comma, then item. So here what I want to do, I want to add a item dollar bracket. Okay, so here previous state dot item dot length plus 1. Okay, so previous state. So what is the mistake? Dollar previous state is there. What is the error? Here it is also item. This is the item previous dot item. So no, everything is correct. So add item is there. When I click here, it is calling a add item set state. So set state, it is passing the previous date as a temporary variable, and here by using the spread operator, and the previous state is there. Okay, this is the so previous state. So this previous state, comma, items, floor bracket, and the three dots means this is a spread operator again. The previous state, previous state dot items means, so this is the items. Then item, comma, item, dollar is there. So everything looks correct. So what is a mistake? Is any errors? Comma expected. Comma is there. Items, previous state. So previous state is there. Items, this is the item dot length 0 1 2 3. So 3 plus 1 4 is there. So item start 4 should be happen. Hmm, okay. Yeah, so just I first I will okay, I will write this one, and because there is a dependency code need to be added. Once I click this, so that is add item should be called. So here now what I want to do, the next button I want to show here, add a show button. Okay, so I will take a one button here. So that button is by using a is loading. Is loading initially false. So for that I will take a one expression here. So how to take it? So I will take a one button. See, this is throwing an error. Why throwing an error? I will tell, because I need to write a whole code, because each functionality is dependent to each other. So on click is the add item. So here it is a function is there. How it is adding and everything you forget it. So next is what showing a button. So there are two type buttons. One is a like a stop loading and a start loading. Two actions I need to show here. So here in the bracket, I want to take a state dot is loading It will check the question mark. Is state dot is loading is true means it is going to be run this one. False means after colon it is going to be run. So state dot is loading means what? I have to show the stop loading. So I will take a stop loading. If it is a true, then I need to use a start loading. Control S. Forget about the code now. Okay, I will just comment this one, okay, for a while. Control S. If I just go here, see start loading. Okay, how it is executing? A state. What is a state? This is a state. What it contains? It contains the initial state. What initial state contains? Is loading is false. Whenever is state dot is loading false, then it has to be called a start loading. If it is a true, I will just make it as a true. Control S. It will check for the state dot is loading. What is this one? True. What is the output it has to be shown? What button? Sorry? Yes, exactly. Because is loading is true, whenever the true condition, that time after the question mark will be loaded, whatever it is. It is a string or any mathematical operations or it is a something having an event or anything. So just I am calling this one. So initially that is then it is going to load a you know stop loading. Okay, so initially I have made a false. But thing is that whenever I click on this one, stop loading to the start loading, when I click on start loading, it has to be come for the stop loading. So for that, I will use the toggling. So for that, I will use a one button on click toggle loading. Control S. I will use this method. So here toggle loading. So constant toggle loading, open close brace. So this is a function. Okay, here the set state bracket semicolon. So set state is here. The set state, it is going to be set the value for the state. Set state, it is taken from there. We'll take a temporary variable here. Again, the arrow mark and bracket. So just I will take a previous state. This is a one temporary variable I have taken. So here triple dot previous state comma sorry is loading equals to sorry is loading colon not equals to previous state dot is loading. Okay, so save it. We'll go here. Let's see whether it will work. See here, when I click on start loading, stop loading, start loading, stop loading, start loading. So what is the logic? The logic is simple. So here we have a initial state is what is a false. So that time this will be not executed directly, it will come here. So by default values there is a false is there, that is why it is a start loading. So when I click on this button, I use the one button on click event. So toggle loading. So set state. When I click on this one, it is calling a toggle loading set state. So what it is going to be set? So it is taking the previous state, one temporary variable. Previous state is loading. Okay, if is loading is true means it is changing the previous start is loading to the false. If it is loading false, it is changing the uh, previous state to the true. If it is a true, change to the false. If it is a false, change to the true. So this is the logic of this one. So that is the previous state is set, and set state it is going to be store the last value. Got it? When I click on this toggle button, it is coming here. Set state method. It is already defined with the use state. I am taking a one previous temporary variable. So is loading. What is is loading? By default is false. And if it is a false, it is changing to the true. So that true value is stored in the previous state. So that is set to the previous state to the state. What is the previous state? So that is a false. Okay. So this is called a toggling a state. Okay, so now what we are going to do, so we are going to be like display the data. Okay, so how to do? So what is the data? The data is item 1, item 2, item 3. So this data I need to show here. So there is a one more functionality is there, hide and show. Okay, hide and show items. So for that I will create a button here. See, this is the one stop loading and a start loading, but hide and show items. So for that, so here I want to, I will take a one more state variable. Show item is true. Initially, show items are true. So that is I want to demonstrate here. So I will take here colon, and the first one is what? State dot show items is true, colon, sorry, hide items, or else show items. Can anyone tell what is the output for this button? For the third button, state dot show items is there, not double S, single S. Show item, I think I defined two times. Yes, I will just okay. What is the button value can show here? What it will show? Yes, exactly. A state dot show item. So what is the state? State. So what is the initial value? So this all the value. A state dot show item means this is a true is there. So when it is a true, so this is the, after the question mark, it is going to be printed. If it, so if you just go to the browser, see show items is there. But I need to make a toggling between each other. For that, I will go here on click toggle show hide items, control S, show hide items, constant, Okay, so here toggle show hide items. So method, this method and this method should be correct. Okay, so here again we are calling a set state method, and again I will take a one previous state. So the previous state is a temporary variable. Okay, you can take anything, the previous state. Okay, so here I will use a dot 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 previous state, comma. So again same thing, show items. Show items, what is the show items it contains? It contains the a true value. If it is a true, make it as a false. Previous state dot items dot show items. Okay, so this is how it will works. When I click on this on click button, it is calling here previous state. The previous state, it will contain the temporary variable show items. Is initially value is a true, and it is converting to the false, so that false value is stored into the previous item. So that previous item is set to the state. Okay, so that state it is going to be changed. If we just go to the browser, show item, hide item. If it is a show item, it is going to be store the previous state item, and it will reverse it. Now it will come to the loader data. Okay, I will use a one more paragraph here, colon, and I will use a state dot is loading, and p. What does it mean in the sense? It is a one more way of handling a ternary ways. If it is a is loading is true, it is loading. If it is a false, it will not show anything. So here we are using a ternary operation, either show this condition or this condition. So it will check the condition. If it is a condition is true, print, or else not print. Okay, what is the initial is loading? Is loading is what? False. So it will store display. If it is a true means it is going to be show this one. So here I want to display the data now. Bracket state dot show items, and okay, so here I want to display my data. So how to display the bracket? So which one we are using the unordered list? I need to display here. Unordered list. In the unordered list, bracket state dot items. What is items dot map? Bracket bracket arrow mark. Again there is a one more round bracket, then enter. So in the map object we are passing a item comma index. Okay, so state dot items means what? So these are all the items, item 1, item 2, item 3. So these items I need to map through here. Save it. So then li. Li is for what? List item. Okay, so here in the list item, I need to pass the values. So how to pass the values? Uh, okay, item dot index, and here it is. We are passing the value. Item dot maps. Okay, state dot items dot map item index in the li. I need to pass the selected item, right? Oh yeah, bracket item. So it is printing a item and control S. If I just go to here, so is loading, show item, hide item. So this is how it is showing the data. Stop loading. So this is the a boolean value. So this is the array item. So now what I want to do, I want to, whenever I click means, so it has to be show the it's this is the item is selected. And if I added the item means it has to be add the item here. First we'll do add item here. So we have commented here, right? So here, okay. So here add item. So when I click on this add item button, it is calling the on click event, and it is the add item function is called here. Then the set state. Okay, set state equals to the previous state. What is the previous state? Is a temporary variable. So previous state, comma, the items. So what is the items? So this is the above, this is the items. And a colon spreader operator means it is going to be store the previous state, comma, sorry, dot items. So again, comma, item. So item dollar previous state dot items dot length plus 1. So I will just, why it is throwing like this? It has to be thrown properly now. So add a item, okay, and the set state, okay. In the set state, we are taking a previous state as a temporary variable. That's fine. The previous state is, yeah, everything is looks correct. What is the mistake? Previous state is a for the spread operator. Previous state dot items and comma item dollar previous state. Yeah, previous state and this is a temporary variable. Previous state dot items dot length plus 1 comma. Everything looks correct. What is the mistake then? How is it possible? We cannot pass the comma here. Okay, items. No, I think it is not correct. Item only correct. Item dollar, the previous item dot item dot length means it is giving the actual length of the previous item. Set state, okay, okay. Okay, so let it be, it looks correct only. Uh, we'll go here, app dot index for selection of the item. On click, select the item. So whenever I will click on this item, it has to be call the method select item, copy, select item, constant, select item, open close brace, CLG, so we need to pass the event object. On click select item, bracket, item, save it. When I click on this item, it has to be select, call the method, and we need to pass the item value. So here we are passing the item. Let's see whether it is printing or not. Save it. We'll go here. Okay, so just I will comment for this one. Save it. Store it. Item, show item, console, clear it. When I click means, yeah, it has to be called. Why it is not calling? So select item, on click. So it has to be called this method. At least it's printing the plus item. Reload. Yeah, on click event only not happening. Yeah, we need to pass one more thing. Key equals to index. Okay, so it is not happening.